Disney. What the hell has happened to the Disney stock? Crash and burn. Totally forgotten about. Heading towards under 100 again. Just like after the Rona. What has happened to the stock? Will Disney come back as a giant again? And what should you do right now in this market? Well, the Walt Disney Company has been around for a very, very long time. Obviously, everyone knows the characters, and they've done super well in their parks, theme parks all around the world, as well as their movies. So let's check out what has been happening over the last few years at Disney. Well, obviously, first off, we had this Rona case. And what did Disney do? They got rid of the dividend. And as of yet, it has not returned, which has not helped the stock price go up. Then Disney Plus was come out at that time, and it skyrocketed the price, jumping up to as high as nearly $200. And people would have thought we were geniuses if we brought it lower prices. And then all of a sudden, Disney has just crashed and burned, and it's dropped down to almost $100. And why is that, you say? Well, obviously the dividend was one reason, but that had already been factored in a little bit. Disney hadn't really gone skyrocketing with the Disney Plus. It started off well, but a slow growth, as well as the parks continuing to be closed down and the movie theatres and the money just not rolling in. There's a big concern obviously with Disney losing money, which it hadn't been losing money for a while. That's been some of the concerns for the Disney. Now, what does the future hold? Well, obviously theme parks have started to open up, and we're starting to see money come back in. The movie theatres are a bit slower, but again they're heading in the same direction. So where's the profit going to come from? Will we see Disney go back up again? Well, Disney Plus is definitely one of the big revenue centres they're looking at, but it takes a lot to run a streaming service, and there's a lot of money you have to pay actors to keep the streaming service up and alive. So that's the big thing with streaming. It's a positive, but it's very costly business. So be interesting to see how Disney Plus goes. I still expect them to be up there with the best, and it's going well for Disney at the moment. So what does Disney need to do? They've got to find a way to profit. Where do they find profit? Is there new avenues that they are not searching for at the moment? Is the metaverse part of this solution? That we don't hear too much from Disney, but this is something they need to do. Obviously merchandise sales and all that have been down as well, but yes, the metaverse is where I think Disney need to look at. Where can they find some room here? Does Disney need to buy some acquisitions? They're a company that's got some money. Maybe they need to buy some more gaming things and get some more of their stuff onto gaming. Do you want to see the Mickey Mouse games come out? I certainly think so. And imagine Marvel having all these games come out. I think this is something Disney needs to really look at. Would you want to have like Thor and Loki and all this? The Mandalorian? I mean, it just makes sense to me that they should get into the gaming game a bit more, and you'll see these games take off and take flight. So that's somewhere that Disney could look for in the future. So if we look at Disney as a company right now, they're around the $4.15 for earnings per share at the moment. A forward PE of 25, a market cap of nearly 200 billion. So they're definitely not a dying company. So if you look at Disney in terms of revenue, Disney's revenue from October 2020 to October 21, there was only a $2 billion increase in revenue. So that shows you how much they really dropped. But currently at this point in time, they're heading towards a $10 billion increase in revenue this year, and maybe even more. That'll be good to see. And gross profit from 21 billion up to 25 billion is expected this year. Could be close to 26 billion, so that's very good for Disney. They're on the increase. So net income, obviously they had a bit of a loss in 2020 when all the Rona and the Disney Plus was happening, $2 billion, but now they're at $2.6 billion net income. So that's good. From a loss, they pretty much just absolutely evaporated that within a year. So that's good news for the Disney. They are on the way up in terms of net income. Revenue per share has gone up about $5 from last year, so that's good to see. So the Disney company is going nowhere soon. What is a good price target, you might be asking? Well, this is not financial advice, but anything under 100 for me is just a steal deal, because I expect this company eventually to go back up and easily be a $200 stock going into the future, if not a lot higher, especially if Disney Plus becomes super profitable within 5 years. That's obviously where they're big targeting, but if they get into gaming and really exploit that in the metaverse, then you could be looking at a $500 company. Now that's pie in the sky sort of thing at the moment, but if they really do want to look into the metaverse, I think there's a big opportunity there. There's always other stuff that the Disney can do. They're always creative and always looking for ways to go. The stock is generally a solid stock, doesn't really go to the moon, so I'll say 200 conservatively would be a good thing in about 5 years' time. I don't expect it to really skyrocket it up to something extreme, but as I said, if they got into the metaverse and gaming and found some profitability there, then anything can happen with the Disney channel. So yeah, Disney stock to me looks like a good buying opportunity. I wouldn't say super duper buying opportunity, but it's still a good opportunity to invest into the stock if you like Disney. Well, that's enough from me. I hope you enjoyed this video on the Disney stock. Barry Charles is out of here, and I'll see you at the next video. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Take care out there.